Greetings, world. Welcome to Full Circle. It's a question that, and I don't know how to, I guess the beginning is always a good place to start, right? But this is a question that's often asked of female leaders, right? Particularly if they're at the top of their game and have a family, and you'll have some person say, so how do you balance raising a family and running a successful corporation? A question that I am yet to hear asked of a man. And to be clear, women ask this question of other women as well, which I think is just completely unsupportive. But the reason I find this question so unsupportive is because it is gendered in its tone. Because if you can't ask this of a man who also has a family, then you have no business asking this of a woman who has a family and also has a successful career. But having said that, I think the conversation we need to be having a lot more is about how we, as female leaders, need to craft an ecosystem of support around ourselves so that all the things we aspire to achieve don't happen at the expense of our joy, but they also don't happen at the expense of what matters. Because relationships are what matter. Relationships with our children, with our spouses, with our partners, our lovers, with our siblings, with our parents. All of those relationships matter a whole lot more than the bank balance. Trust me. Chasing the elusive, yet often applauded notion of turning your startup into a unicorn may sound useful and interesting and gives you bragging rights at dinner parties, but it truly isn't the stuff that life is made of. So as a leader who over the last 10 years has been an entrepreneur, and alongside that journey I was studying for a PhD, because that's what you do when your plate is overflowing, you just add one more thing. But on a serious note, the pursuit of the PhD was an important thing because I was exploring the erasure of Black females who are child-free, right? Which is another area where we need a balancing act. I am suggesting and offering that we who identify as female, choose to be anything we work hard at. The only caution I'm offering is that all those things that we pursue cannot be at the expense of our humanity. They also cannot be at the expense of what truly matters. It is important that we craft a balancing practice. For me, it is meditation at the beginning of the day. It is communing with my mat on Sundays. It is exercise in the fresh Joburg air in the mornings at 4:30. I know it sounds mad, but that's when my heart is most open and my mind is most shut. Whatever it is, but I'm suggesting that you do, just like I have found, need a balancing practice. Others call it a spiritual practice, others call it a physical practice, whatever the adjective, but the point is we do need a practice, because that practice is what will help us keep our balance. Because when we're leaning too heavily on one side, whether that side is the brain, then the soul suffers. If we're leaning too heavily on the soul, then the brain suffers. If we're leaning too heavily on the money, then the meaning suffers. So every day becomes a balancing act. And it is my wish that you have the wisdom in every moment to know how to choose, and that the choices you make support your journey to getting a better grip on yourself and deepening your joy. Until next time, namaste.